So I think it's just experience. It just becomes a natural thing. Like humans, we're very adaptable. Anything that you do regularly, you start to get natural at, get good at. And Toastmasters is really, it's a classic muscle memory, something that you practice and your body adapts until it's no longer a big deal, which is a wonderful place to get to. And I'd also say that the type of people who choose to improve themselves by going to Toastmasters, they push through that discomfort going, they tend to be interesting people. They're trying to make the best of life and trying to, lift themselves up. And so there are so many interesting people. And so I've made friends.
Hi and welcome at Central Otago Toastmasters. And today we have Dan. Dan has already a lot of experience as a Toastmasters. He started in Wanaka, but let's dive in and meet Dan. Hi, Dan. How are you?
Good morning, Lily. Nice to see you.
Yes, thank you. So tell us a little bit about your journey in Wanaka, when you started and why you wanted to start.
Well, I had heard about Toastmasters for many years, like a lot of people, and had thought, oh, maybe I should try this. I wasn't entirely convinced I needed it because I thought that my public speaking was okay. And and then I had an experience actually at a presentation where I was handed a microphone without any warning. And to be frank, I was rubbish. I kind of choked and it didn't go very well and I was embarrassed. And I thought, well, why is that? Because sometimes when I'm giving presentations, I'm not bad. I can come across reasonably okay. And I sort of realized there must be more to it. There's more variables. Turns out preparation has got a great deal to do with it. So that pushed me over the edge. At that point, I was like, I've really got to get on top of this. I don't want to just be rolling the dice every time I have to do a presentation and see what happens. I want to be consistent, reliable. So I looked into local clubs and, well, I'm in Cromwell. At the time I was working in Queenstown, so I saw there was a Queenstown club. I went to a couple of classes with them and they were really friendly and good. And then my job situation changed and I wasn't going to Queenstown anymore. So I decided to go to the Wanaka club because there's one there as well. It's a little bit closer drive and an easier drive. And they're also a lovely, friendly, welcoming club. And I started out there and yeah, really enjoyed it and haven't looked back.
Yeah, and you know what? I really love what you just said because what you are expressing is exactly what I'm going through. Sometimes, some moment I feel like, wow, I do like a pretty good job, and and then sometimes it's like, oh my God, why everything is blank? And so, and
That's
you're
right.
right. Yeah, there is something about yeah. You were talking about learning about presentation. Can you dive a little bit more into that? I quite like this idea of being prepared.
Yeah, so one of the three foundational tenets of public speaking, which I've heard, which I really like, are know your audience, know your material, and know your passion. So it turns out that in the past, if you happen to be in a scenario, a context where you do know what you're talking about and you know the people you're talking to, then you can come across naturally without much preparation, you can come across reasonably okay. And you can get a false sense of, well, actually, I'm okay at public speaking. I don't really need to practice. And then you might find yourself asked to talk in front of a group where you don't know, or you might not know the subject very well. And you might not have a good grasp of the material, and you can just be really clunky and just come across nervous or disorganized, and it can go really poorly. And you think, well, what's the difference? The difference is that you haven't actually prepared for the scenario. You haven't prepared to 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 be across the material, and you haven't had a good think about the audience and what they are interested in. And if you took the time to do that, you can actually come across really well, but you've just got to put more time in. So at Toastmasters, you learn those skills. You learn about putting in the homework and the groundwork to cover off the scenario you need to be public speaking in. And then you can walk into that scenario and come across really well, regardless of what the situation is, if you're prepared.
Oh, wow. Yes, that makes sense. So you said I think it was off record that you've done for about 3 years the Toastmasters before joining our group.
It was about 3 years in Wanaka up and going, I think. Yeah, slightly over. Yeah.
Yeah. And how long did it take you to feel more confident? Because I mean, we've done quite a few sessions already together in this group, and well, you come across as someone already really confident, and we are learning a lot, and you are teaching us every time, like Brian or Rosemary that we're gonna meet soon, hopefully. So how long did it take you to start to really feel confident in any situations?
It's a really good question, Lily, because I clearly remember my first few weeks and my first few months at Toastmasters Wanaka. And every time was scary. And every time I was sort of nervous and thinking about for the few days leading up to it. And each role I really had to concentrate on. I really wanted to focus to remember my responsibilities of the Toastmasters role so that I would know what I was doing. And then at some point, I think everyone's a little different, but for me, some point around the sort of 6, probably 12-month mark, it just started happening naturally, and I just didn't even worry about it. And I would just show up and become one of those Toastmasters who's happy to do any role, and you sort of know it off the top of your head. So I think it's just experience. It just becomes a natural thing. Like humans, we're very adaptable. Anything that you do regularly, you start to get natural at, get good at. And Toastmasters is really, it's a classic muscle memory, something that you practice and your body adapts until it's no longer a big deal, which is a wonderful place to get to.
Oh, I bet. I can't wait to be in this place as well. There is a natural question that comes to that is when you when you arrive at this level, how does that impact your personal life and your work as well when you start to feel confident?
It's really nice. No longer am I nervous that I might be expected to speak up without warning and come across unconfidently. I can just be relaxed and know that whatever comes at me, that I will be able to respond naturally. So I've just got a whole lot more confidence giving presentations at work or just being asked to speak to a group. The sort of things. Some people's jobs it happens a lot, and I guess they get good practice at it, teachers and things. And then some people are in roles where, well, it doesn't happen that often, but when it does happen, you're expected to do it well. And then I'm now in that situation where when it comes up, I just, I just do it and it works and I'm relaxed and it's so nice. Mm.
And what kind of opportunity that brought to you in your personal life or work, like from doing Toastmasters? Do you have any examples?
In the professional sense, just whenever I'm in a situation where I need to present a subject or explain myself to someone or talk in front of a group, I can do it well and come across well, and obviously that reflects well in your professional career. And in a personal sense, I'm just more confident. It's nice to have that skill set. You know, if you've learned to swim, then you're confident around water. If you've learned to public speak, then you're just confident, more confident around people. There's little hidden benefits like that. And on a personal level, joining Toastmasters is just you sort of go along thinking, well, I'm going to do this because I want to improve my public speaking, but you get so much more out of it, Lily, because what I didn't expect was that because people, when they're first, especially when they're doing their first few speeches, they tend to talk about, as I said before, something that's really passionate to them or some really interesting, significant life story, because that's a really good way to start, is to talk on something that is really ingrained in your brain because it's so important to you. So people will tell stories about their background, and you just sit there listening, excuse me, and you learn so much just from their stories. And it's just amazing. It becomes an education session. It's almost like going to a lecture and coming home with a whole bunch more knowledge. It's fantastic. And I'd also say that the type of people who choose to improve themselves by going to Toastmasters, they push through that discomfort and go on. They tend to be interesting people. They're trying to make the best of life and trying to lift themselves up. And so there are so many interesting people. And so I've made friends.
Wow. Yeah, it definitely looks like this. Every time we're going into the club and with the group, it feels like we know a little bit each other a little bit more every time. So what would you say to someone who is actually shy or have a bit of anxiety around public speaking, what would you tell this person to encourage them to reach out to their Toastmaster club?
I would say that that is 100% natural. That's how almost everybody feels at the beginning when they're thinking about going along. It's human nature to feel nervous public speaking, and the concept of going to a club where you have to do the public speaking, which is the thing which you don't like, is a little bit contradictory. You just have to push through that discomfort to show up. It's like many things, sort of stepping out the door and showing up is the hardest part, because once you go, you realize that it's just the most friendly, perfect environment for practicing. Like Toastmasters is a club where it's all just a training environment. It's the perfect place to make mistakes. No matter what level you're at, if you're absolutely petrified and you can't talk for 10 seconds, it doesn't matter. Whatever level you're at, people will embrace you and give you tips to help you improve from where that level is. And then so you learn, you make all the mistakes and you gradually get better, and then you start fine tuning and you make all the mistakes, so that when you go out into the real world, because Toastmasters is not the real world, it's just genuinely a practice club. When you go out into the real world, you can then use those learnings to improve.
Oh, thank you. And what you say seems to be true, because I spoke with a few people like that are like me starting, and what they're saying is like, well, you feel supported. You feel like you can make mistakes, as you said, and it's okay, because there is this empowerment. We want to support others and each other, and I find that fantastic. On the other hand, now I know we touched base a little bit on that one. You already explained, but someone who already feel confident, what what can Toastmaster bring into their life? What do you think is lacking and that could help them to improve their speech?
Yeah, public speaking is it's a really big, deep, comprehensive skill. It's not just you can do it or you can't do it. It's a continuum. I've been going for 3.5 years now, I guess, and people say, Dan, you're a really good public speaker. Well, I would consider myself an intermediate public speaker, Lily. Honestly, the people at some of the clubs I've been to who have been doing it for decades are so much better than me, honestly. They've got so many more skills, and you could almost say they've got more flexibility as well, because maybe I could come across as a good public speaker with a decent amount of preparation on something, but the better you get, the less preparation you need to come across really well. So all you need to do is go and watch a good, TED Talks or something, and you realize that, wow, there's so much more I can still add to. So it's like anything, everyone's got room for improvement. And for me, I got to a point with the club where I'm reasoning, I'm an intermediate standard, but I enjoy the environment. I enjoy helping other people. I enjoy fine-tuning my other skills, and I just enjoy the social side of it. So if you enjoy improving yourself and you enjoy the social setting of a bunch of people trying to improve themselves, then there's always things you can learn. And if let's say hypothetically you've got it all sorted out and you're pretty good, well, then it's a great time to be the mentor and help others. So I would certainly say everybody can get something out of it.
Yes, oh, that makes sense. You're right. Because it's how it works. We help each other. That's fantastic. And I've got one last question. Is there any highlight, any memory that you would like to share from Toastmasters?
We've only been going to the Alex Club for a few weeks. We're just new, but you already see people making big improvements, and that's one of the most wonderful things to see. And certainly spending a few years at the Wanaka Club and seeing people come in, very nervous, noticeably shaking and looking at the ground, and within sort of 6 or 12 months, suddenly they're coming across as a truly decent speaker who could be, thrown in front of a TV camera and actually come across all right. And you see that improvement, and it warms your heart. You're like, oh my gosh, they've come so far. And it's really heartening, and it's just, you realize that it's such a cool skill to develop.
Thank you so much, Dan, for sharing your story and sharing the story and your experience as a Toastmaster. And I will see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, lovely to meet you, Lily. I look forward to seeing you more at the Alex Club.